What's going on is the Wolf, and we are back with another episode of the Wolf Has Spoken podcast. The universe's fastest growing podcast, helping people get how much better every day?
1%.
And that's all we focus on, just getting 1% better every day. And I'm extremely excited today because we're back.
Mm-hmm.
I'm repping the home team, as always. You know what I'm saying? I know
that time, that season.
What's going on. And even if it's not,
fair.
I'm always repping the home team.
Probably home, but
always repping.
for sure.
You know what I mean? So I'm excited, man. If y'all watching this, is it one of two things have happened? The Eagles either won the Super Bowl or they even lost. But regardless, I'm letting y'all know that this shit is, you feel me? Y'all know what it is. So with that being said, I'm also excited to be joined by my guy, my co-host, the magnificent Ricky B. Philly.
Fair. I mean, I think I
Yeah. So I'm very excited to be joined by my guy, Q, man. The one and only, man.
All right, yeah,
One and only. The literal one and only.
Right.
One thing for sure, concerning Q, I can say I've never met somebody like that. And I say that no smut with a little bit of smut. Like,
I appreciate that.
Yeah, like two sides of the coin.
I appreciate that. Yeah.
It's like, that's what it is. But how you feel, bro? Good to be back.
I'm good. Yeah, absolutely. How was your week? We're gonna start with you, sir. How was your week?
Depends on what happened when they see this. My week is determined by what happened in this
The
game.
outcome of that game.
Yeah, because like that's just the fact of the matter. Like, granted, by the time y'all see this, the game probably didn't been concluded. But ultimately, let's not talk about how my week was. Let's talk about how my week is about to be. So I'm looking forward to.
Boy, good.
Yeah,
Boy, good.
I'm looking forward to this week and getting in routine and getting scheduled. And you know how we talked about off camera a lot of like having to just like we talked about building through the BS in last episode, but let's talk about just building through the BS of life and just like the chaos, right? And now life is always gonna have its moments, but being able to finally literally and figuratively unpack and kind of like I'm looking forward to putting my space together, putting my place together, like making those different pockets of peaceful environments or that different like bringing that feng shui together of like just that aura and that element that I want to set the vibe I want to set in my spot. So I'm extremely happy and excited about that. I'm looking forward to something as simple as reading a book on my balcony. Like, you know, yeah, bro. So like that's what I'm really looking forward to for this week. Like I'm excited to have that opportunity to even be able to do it after being in such a all over the place space, you know, for that time frame. You know, it's like there's still a little residue and I'm trying to get rid of it. It just really settle in. I'm gonna cook in my kitchen. I can't wait. I can't wait to cook.
You know, some noodles. I feel it. Yeah, like it was a noodle.
That boy really could, like, I know they say it, but check it out. Like you need, like, I ain't even going, you know, like, there's a lot of truth in what they be saying about the boy. Boy can cook, you feel me? What about you, man? How was your week, or what you looking forward to?
Yeah, I liked how you switched that. Yeah, so looking forward to, I look as whether it's this week or the next season or quarter or even year for the most part, I feel a lot of things are kind of already like formatted.
It's a nice sweater, I'm sorry.
Appreciate that, sir.
Yeah.
I feel a lot of things are already formatted. So I'm looking forward to accepting the challenge and accepting the path that's laid out. Because it's going to take some work. It's going to take some persistence. It's going to take some, you know, discipline, all that. And but I feel the paths are laid out from stuff me and you, and also in our own paths, separate paths, of a foundation we laid in the past year.
100%.
So to kind of continue that work, scale it. Yeah. Lay further foundation, more. So I feel a lot of things are kind of, you know, as we talked about before, like certain things being in limbo. Once you get out of that, all right, cool. You got what you asked for. Now I'm now I'm build on it. You know, all that shit. So I feel a lot of things are kind of laid out. Again, I spoke about Reese about the honeymoon. So I'm looking forward to finally been a long.
So when is the wedding? Or the marriage?
April. It's gonna be April.
Oh, you never told us that.
I'm pretty sure I did.
I've never heard it before.
I did.
Never.
Episode 4. Like, no, yeah. But no, it's gonna be.
My head, Ricky, look into that. No, never. Ricky is ChatGPT. Never. First time.
Oh yeah, it's gonna be. You know, I definitely said we're gonna keep the anniversary date the same, which is in late April. So yeah, it's gonna. We got
our joint or y'all's. I'm talking about the pie.
I keep everything the same. I'm consistent. Everything's the same.
It'd be fair. That would be ours too. April 1st.
Fair. Ours is April 26th.
And ours April 1st.
Fair.
So don't forget about us.
Gotcha.
I want something too. I already got you a gift.
Okay.
The intro.
Okay. I mean, did you? I'm gonna say what Ricky did. I'm gonna get the thing that he got, but you already know about it, so it's done now.
Yeah, I'm cool. I still want it.
But But yeah, so that's something like that. It's like, no, we about to get married, and that's the whole path of life laid ahead. Whatever. So that's really
that's a huge transition.
Yeah, that's the epitome.
You won't be seeing my wife in 2 months.
Yeah. So that's the epitome of like foundations laid, and let's build on and sustain it for for eternity.
Damn.
So I'm looking forward to that.
Get me one.
Get you one.
My wife.
Pokemon?
Give me one. Nah, man. Like what you're saying.
I'm saying I think that's how I look the rest of this year, and the foreseeable future. I just continue with
the goal was still the goal, man. Mm-hmm. Like even though like I went from being in a relationship in which I thought was going to convert to that, I took a lot from it, learned a lot, and I'm still looking forward to what that'll look like. But what I will say is being completely honest. What I was trying to say a few episodes ago in regard to like getting yourself ready, like being honest with myself about taking on more than I could like naturally handle, not more than what I can force myself to handle. But it's not like something that like ever, I can't say it really reflected in my performance, or maybe I didn't know because I did it. But the fact of the matter is when I look back at doing it, it was like from before I just jumped to lifting 250 in the gym, I'm going to literally build up. So because I never had a season where I was able to get me right. Like we talk about being a kid with a kid. So literally since I was 16 years old, I had a huge, immense amount of responsibility. Had a kid, had a car, still had to graduate high school, still trying to find myself, figure it out, still trying to navigate friendship and trying to become a man and figure out what career path I want to take, but I can't go too far because I got a kid. And it's like, if I do, I'm deadbeat. So it's like, then right after that, I do go to college, but guess what happened? Have another kid. It's like, oh shit, now I'm trying to rap and trying to do all of this while having two. And still trying to find me, and now I'm trying to navigate entrepreneurship, but never having that moment where it was like, when didn't I have something that was like revolved around? Now, granted, my responsibilities are under control now; they're manageable. So these things don't. But at that time, I didn't have the resources, the knowledge, the finances, the experience to even manage my responsibilities. The wisdom, that coincides with the experience. I didn't have that to even manage my responsibilities. So now I'm at a point where looking at it like, yes, 150%. I'm going to get married. I don't feel like I have to get married. I don't have a certain time or like got to be in this time frame. It's just more so knowing that that's the goal. But beforehand, let me take this next 2-piece, 3-piece to literally build. And it might not even take that long. I might meet somebody in 6 months and be building towards. But my intent is set for me to be like, let me give myself 2 years. Definitely before I have another kid, I at least want to wait till I'm like 35 minimum. I'm not even thinking about it. Like it is not even an option until I leave, because I want to actually be a little bit about me while managing my responsibilities before I sit here and be like, all right, let me take on that dynamic. But I do, and I will, and yeah, soon come.
So I know related to that, you think would wearing a ring every day, would that be like a transition for it, or would you even wear a ring every day?
Yeah, because I wear this chain every day. I don't notice it.
Okay, it wouldn't bother you? Okay.
No, because I'm not looking to hide my marriage.
But some people just don't like wearing rings.
So I've had to see how it feel to wear a ring.
Gotcha, okay.
You feel me? Because I don't have a ring on. So if I wore rings, it wouldn't matter to me. But if it's uncomfortable on my finger and shit, but my reasoning won't have nothing to do with the marriage. Like, some people don't want to wear rings because they don't want to identify that there's a reminder like, I'm off the market.
I feel like this is going to piss you off. I think I might say this on show.
Damn, but like, is it going to intentionally piss me off?
Well, yeah, because, smart women, minimism. But no, like my girl, when she first got her engagement ring, she was not intentional about wearing a ring. And I ain't gonna lie, that wasn't the thing that really pissed me off. The thing that pissed me off was she wasn't intentional about where she put it at every day.
No, that's even worse. I was pissed off at her not wearing it. I'm extremely pissed off at her don't even know where it's at. Where the ring I got you? Hold on, don't give me, don't tell me, hold on, I'm gonna figure it out. Man. Don't say nothing. Wait, I got it. Don't worry. Like, told you I had it 3 weeks later. Like, I found it. I put it there.
Literally every day I would see it on top of the kitchen sink, on the shelf somewhere.
Oh my gosh, we need to give Ricky a bite just for his reactions.
Like, instead, mind you, I done bought this girl a jewelry box. Like, with all her jewelry I bought her over the years and shit.
It's like, it could just go in the box.
Refuse to utilize this thing on a dresser, the bedroom dresser. It's been everywhere in the house.
Yeah, nah. We gotta wait. You gotta learn ring protection before I can make you a wife. I'm sorry.
Yeah, and then it kind of clicked where she started wearing it every day, and at that point, of course, at least you don't have to worry about where you put it at because it's on your fucking finger every fucking day, whatever. Then that kind of both problems solved at the same time, whatever. But I was like, first of all, I know you. I know who I'm marrying, so I already know that. One, I knew there's no way in hell she's gonna have the ring for the rest of her life.
Yeah.
Eventually she's gonna lose it. It's gonna be whatever.
And at that rate.
Yeah, it's gonna go lost eventually. But I didn't anticipate in the when you first get this shit. Like, it's like, all right, have some appreciation.
He said, I know my personnel, but I didn't account for that out the gate.
Right. So you
did yourself.
Right. But she, and one time she almost lost it. I appreciated the nervous breakdown she almost went through, where she's almost crashing. Like, oh my God, I can't. You're not gonna help me lose when I lost it myself. No, but she didn't lose, and I was there.
Ain't gonna help me when I lost it myself. It's hilarious. Absolutely not.
But I've heard some men be like, I gotta wear the ring too. How about I don't wear it? You got yours. And I don't even take it always like they're trying to hide it, but it's just like, the ring is for you. Like, what we talking about? I'm married.
Yeah, I'm about to say, I don't know, because I don't have, I don't wear rings. And you naturally, is that an engagement ring or just a ring?
My ring, sir.
So he just wearing rings. So that's like jewelry to you. So if I wore it as jewelry, I don't see me taking it off. It would just be jewelry. But just to wearing or something I never wore before, I would have to see how that look and how that feel. Or even if I would want to make it a ring.
Right.
Like, you know what I mean? Like,
Gotcha.
might have another symbol to symbolize my marriage, a chain or something.
Awesome. Yeah. Switch gears real quick. The idea of intuition. We usually hear that context with like a woman's intuition, but at the same time, I feel like is there a thin line between using your reference points and your experience, trauma, and then versus just like, no, I can have reference points for certain things, but then also carrying that baggage into all the different situations, whatever. Like,
I 100% think that people confuse trauma with intuition. They think that because it's familiar and they recognize it, that they can jump to conclude that the outcome would be the same, and they say that it's intuition because they can draw from experience. But the thing is, experience clouds your judgment when it was a traumatic experience that you want to forget. So you don't want to relive that moment. So guess what happened? You do anything to prevent that. So when you see something that look relatively close to it being a familiar experience, you flee because you don't want it to be the same outcome, not even digging that. Familiar experiences present themselves so you can show up as a new version of yourself. The intuition part is pulling from your gut and trusting that, okay, what I'm feeling is triggering me to know that something is up, but that don't mean that I'm supposed to avoid it. It's like, when you're on a roller coaster, you about to, something about to happen, but you can't get off. You got to go all the way through with the ride, and people get off at the top of the mountain because they know there's a drop coming. But sometimes that drop be what you need to overcome to let the trauma, because in order for you to be able to get away from your trauma, you got to evaluate and then recreate your relationship with it. Like, you got to reestablish the relationship. You can't have the same memory of some shit that happened to you 12 years ago, 14 years ago. Remember it exactly as it is and it not affect you today. You have to go back 12 years ago, think about it, and figure out what you could have learned from it, what you could take from it. Not what you should have did differently, but what you will do differently moving forward, because you obviously can't go back and change the past. So instead of saying, all right, man, if I should have did this, I could have. It's like, no, now you reliving it in a traumatic sense and you kind of perpetuating the pain. You got to go back and look at it and be like, you know what? I can't change what I did then, but now that I see it again, I'm for sure not about to allow myself to. But that don't mean I'm going to avoid it. I'm going to go through it with the knowledge and the wisdom of knowing that this is my trauma trying to speak to me, as is my intuition, but I'm not going to allow it to keep me stuck in this place. Where the intuition itself is just instinct. It's literally just like, I don't really got a good feeling about this. Like, it hasn't happened yet. Honestly, intuition ain't connected to your past. It's literally some shit that's just intuitive, like, something don't feel right. It's not right. Like, you're not pouring from experience. So I think that that's the part that, a woman's intuition is always right. No, it's not. 99% of them. Let's be realistic. 95% of the time it's wrong. But the studies of when it's wrong never get documented. They don't say, oh yeah, I went through your phone 97 times and didn't find shit. They wait till the 98th time when they found something. They're like, I knew it. I got him. 100% accurate. No, you didn't count the 97 times. Like, you only counted the one time when you was right, which you're fucking targeting and attacking and doing all these things to kind of get that could have solicited it. Not that it makes it okay, but it could have drove it to become that, because some people have what we call confirmation bias. They have such a need to be right that they will literally manufacture scenarios to fit their outcome of them being right, and then disregard the fact that they created this. Like, oh, I knew you was like it's like a motherfucker be like, yeah, I knew you had a temper problem after making you mad. Like, huh? I had a terror. I said I was fine.
You said that dark streak,
It's like, I knew you had it in you. Did you just disregard everything you said? You called me all types of pussies and bees and this and that to get me to say, shut the fuck up. And now I'm the one with the temper.
He crazy.
Yeah. So, it happens. But all in all, intuition, I think it's something you got to have faith to even trust. And people don't trust themselves enough to really trust their intuition. If they did, they would leave relationships sooner. Everything that they find themselves stuck to would be left if they really trusted their intuition. But because they don't even know if it's really what they feeling, they pour from their trauma and say, all right, I've seen this before. I can actually mentally go back to a time where I've experienced this. So I know that this is a possibility. So, all right, yeah, my intuition. Whole time, the intuition is a whole nother level of intuitiveness of not even some shit that never, or it might be in another realm taking place, and it's letting you know, yo, something is wrong. Like this environment's throwing me off. Let me remove myself. Not you been here before. You know that shit happens here, and you're like my intuition. No, the evidence told you it wasn't the situation.
And I'm gonna just stay and go through it again and just complain about it after I not do nothing about it.
Even with all the evidence in the world, I'm gonna just complain and I'm gonna talk more shit. Yeah. But yeah, did it tie?
No, absolutely, yeah, for sure. You cooked there. Also,
I was just trying to figure out if you understood what I was saying.
Yeah, you cooked there.
I appreciate it.
Yeah. You cooked there. I know what you were talking about. She was cooking. Also, another thing you said recently was the idea of like you don't focus on what a woman wants, you focus on what she has.
I'm glad you brought that back.
Yeah,
that was good because I didn't get a chance to go into. So basically, when I was saying that, I'm like, a lot of the times, you know, a man asks a woman what she wants. And when you ask a child, a woman, or anybody of the sort what they want, they're gonna get a wish list, right? For me, I don't really ask what you want because if you ask them what they want, they're gonna tell you what they want, but that don't mean that's what they've ever had, what they plan to get for themselves, or what they're even capable of possessing or maintaining or sustaining. I pay attention first to what you already naturally have going on, and it's not even from a finance. Your mindset is everything, and then on top of that, it goes down to being like, all right, you say you want this, but in reality, I'm just gonna study you in a way that allows me to give you what's missing. So when you ask somebody, like even like it's like I call it controlling the budget. You ask a woman where she want to go to eat, guess who was in control of the budget? Her. Because if she say down Frisco's, Eddie V's, and you ain't planning to go to that Frisco's, Eddie V's, she just went way past. I more so say, what type of food you like? You tell me what type of food you like, I'm going to control the budget. She likes steak, we going to Longhorn. Now, I'm not saying we're going to actually go to Longhorn, but Longhorn, I fuck with Longhorn.
Shout out to Longhorn.
I'm not even going to smell Longhorn, I fuck with Longhorn. But we going to Longhorn, you feel me? But if it's like, all right, you know what, you want lamb, or all right, let's go to Ruth Chris. I want to do something, but regardless of where we end up, I'm in control of them. So when you ask a woman what she wants, she's going to give you her wish list. But if you conscious enough as a man, you got to be in a sense where you're like, all right, first of all, the last time I said I pay attention to what you got, but I don't want it to come on like I said, I'm just focusing on materials. It's like a lot of y'all saying y'all want shit that you're not even capable of even getting. So I'll just, you know, I always say like if you Fashion Nova or if you Zara, I'm not going to introduce you to Louis Vuitton. Like, and I'm not saying as a gift. I'm saying like I'm not going to take you to an unsustainable
change this
level.
whole thing. Yeah.
Like you was comfortable here. Like we going to play in this arena. This is where you
like Shein.
Yeah,
you like Shein.
Yeah. That's what you like. Like I'm gonna get you, but you can go crazy
in
there. Like, this 1500 gonna go a long way. It only gonna go one way if you going to Gucci and probably can't even walk out Louis. But if I take you to Shein, you going crazy. You know what I mean? So happy birthday. But all in all,
for next 2 years.
Yeah, for sure. You got outfit on outfit. Yeah. That just makes sense. But all in all, it's like, yeah, man, I feel like when you ask a woman what she wants, she's gonna tell you what she wants. So as a man, instead of asking her what she wants, pay attention to what she into, pay attention to what she got, and build on that so you can control the budget. And this is like, even it comes down to where you choose to live, like, which this is another thing, man. Like, as a man, this is my philosophy on paying all the bills. You don't got to pay all of the bills to her level of living. And what I mean by that is you could have an apartment, right? Your apartment rent could be $1,800, 2-bedroom apartment, pretty solid apartment. She come around, she want to get a house. You don't need the house. You don't got no kids, no need for the extra space, but she seen a beautiful house on TikTok. She got inspired. Somehow y'all qualify to rent $2,700 a month. That extra 9 piece is going to cook you because based on your salary, that's just not in the budget. But you want to make her happy, so you go in and get the house, knowing damn why that 27 going to cook. The next thing is you like, we got to go 50-50 now. Because, all right, we both living together. We both doing this. We both occupying this space. We going 13-50 each.
It's the house you want.
It's the house you wanted. I'm on a tip like, look, I understand that gap pay. Like, if I'm willing to pay $2K a month and you want to spot at 25, you got to pay the gap. You got to pay the 500. That's not going 50-50. That's not doing. That's you not wanting to be here and you wanting to be there, so you pay the gap. That's your extra incentive. But outside of that, I'm choosing the budget that I could afford so we don't have to be 50-50. So if I could afford $2,000 a month for rent, I'm going to find a nice spot that's $2,000 a month. You can do what you want once I get it. I'm going to find a location and all that. And once we in there, you can decorate it however you want it to look. But I know I can sustain this $2,000. I'm not going to put myself in a predicament that have to pay more than I can sustain and then complain about not being able to sustain it and having to go 50-50. But I'm all for the gap. And not like if you want something, if I say I got $2,000, you're like, look, babe, let's just up it to 25. All right, you got to pay the gap because that's your idea. But outside of that, you're not about to force me into. And another thing is, like, if you meet a chick and her bill's $3K a month, like her rent $3,000 a month, and you know you can't pay $3,000 a month, then that's automatically you knowing that you're going, at a 2,000 example, you're going $1,000 into the red trying to keep up. You can't ask her to try to downgrade and get her to live for $2K a month because she's clearly out of your league. And it goes back to what I'm saying. Don't just date people that like you, but also date the person that literally fit your sustainability. Like, I don't understand, like, why you would want to be with a chick and they say, all right, well, you paying $3,000, I might as well just move in and pay $1,500, and we both win. Logically, it make all the sense in the world, but it just don't work like that when you're trying to be the head of the household. You can't be the head of the household, split the responsibilities, but then don't want to split the jurisdiction. Because now this is why they feel like they don't got to respect you. See, the thing about ladies, right? Women don't believe in equality. It's either they see themselves as below you or above you. And whether they agree with it or not don't matter. History will tell the truth about this. Literally, they will either see themselves as beneath you or above you. They've never seen you as equal. So if they make more than you, they see themselves as above you. They make less than you, they see themselves as, and I'm just using money as an example, but it's literally in every dynamic. So if you think that you're going to split the bills and she's going to see you as equal, no, because she's just going to find other areas in which she do more than you and then say, I'm doing more than you. But it got to be clear and concise. Like, no, I cover this, you do that. And it has to be so clear to the point where it's like, we operate off respect. Their respect is more like, it is conditional. Even though I say we should strive for unconditional respect, the conditions of it is based on if they like, it's like the respect. I'm not talking about the respect that's due to a dog. I'm talking about they might be wanting to curse you out, but they really can't because they're like, he pay all the bills. I can't curse him. He pay everything. Like, but if it's like they going half, it's like, why the fuck I gotta shut up when you talking? Like, I want to say something too. And it's like, if you want that level of dominion over the crib, you got to be willing to understand, like, it's no 50-50. It's hierarchy. It's either you run the show or she look at it like, I don't have to respect this person. It's not no levels to it. It's not no threshold of, oh, well, we both play 50-50 and we do this and we a team. So no, you'll see it subtly. When you got an idea that you want to execute without being questioned, you're getting questioned. When you want to make a change in the house and you got to pitch it beyond your level of comfort, and it's like, I don't really think we should do that. That only happened when you like in that predicament. But when you the one steering the ship, it's like, yo, sit back, relax. I'm going to do this. You do your part and we good. But when you want to split the level of responsibilities and you ain't going, one person I know, he said, even if he split the responsibilities, the money-wise, he go above and beyond on a task. I wasn't mad at that. I understood that because it's like the purpose of me paying for everything is to kind of be like, I ain't cooking I ain't washing no clothes.
The labor part.
The labor part. But I'm going to still help with my 10%. Like, you go 90, I got the 10 to relieve you every now and again. But if you going to do the full, if I'm going to pay half the bills and you got to do the full labor, that is a bad deal.
For sure. Absolutely.
So even like a certain dynamics, I respect that because it's still like I'm paying 50, but I'm also laboring 50 to you just laboring 50 or whatever. Well, it's kind of like 50-50 essentially. I can respect that level of 50-50. Niggas be on a 150-50 deal.
I don't want to cook. Recently, I was having a conversation with a guy where he was talking about he had 5 kids. And he asked me, like, you got one? Yeah, I got one. And I always say the same thing. I'm one and done. It's like, what? One and done? What you mean? This and that. And the thing that struck me was, this person who I was talking to, he didn't make a lot of money, whatever, considerably. And I thought it was interesting that he was talking about, how his path through life. Like, yeah, I tell my kids how certain don't be how I was. I got felonies and this and that. And shit is hard, this and that, And I see this common story in a lot of people where it's like, they talk about the struggle and trial and tribulations they go through, but they never tie it to like kids is going to be your biggest bill at all times, whatever.
Recurring too.
And for him to say like, no, have more, I never get that. So I was talking to my girl about, well, everybody look at like kids how you do, where like it's attached to money. They look at it's attached to joy and happiness, and why not? I'm like, but at the same time, these same people, all of us would be like, especially all of us come from the hood and shit, that we talk about the struggle we had and this and that, but for some reason we never attach. Nope, for the most part, people don't attach struggle, having to figure shit out to kids though. And I never get that. Whereas like the more kids you have, the more difficulty shit will be because kids gonna keep growing. Kids gonna need to do here. They're gonna have the extracurricular activities and different baby moms. Always gonna add more shit to your overhead. Your overhead will be ever expanding with kids, but for some reason they never attach it. So what do you think about that? It's like, do you understand when people say, no, like my kid, of course, I'm not saying get rid of kids, but this ain't China. This ain't China. But it's like the idea, like when people never attach it to like, no, we ain't about to have no more though. Like, I don't think more people should keep having more.
But it depends on what. So some people look at kids as more income tax money, more food stamps. So it's like it's different. What part of the world is we speaking from? Like if you talk about somebody who already don't got it, not that they should be leveraging kids in that way, but that's the reality. A woman with 5 kids get 5 dependents to claim. You feel what I'm saying? She get 5 times the food stamps. You know, if she do got multiple baby, 5 times the child support. So she
rich.
Yeah, so like, you feel me? It is, so when you think about it from that, but if you think about just like a natural family, I think that goes to the other part, is other variables that kids offer that just not the bills you pay provide you something. You pay your phone bill because it allows you to communicate. You pay your cable or your Wi-Fi because it allows you to be able to stream and be entertained and be on Instagram and da. You pay for gas and your car note because it allows you to travel. So everything that you pay for comes with something beneficial, or you wouldn't pay for it.
Right.
So the more you get kids, the more joy you get, the more opportunities you have for them to grow up and be successful and improve the legacy and add to this, you know, and it's like, yeah, as you manage a human, so in the day-to-day is other little tasks, things that's like unaccounted for that a car might not bring you. But a car still could do this, have a problem. So when I think about it, it's like, of course, people don't equate it to that because some people need kids to feel purposeful. And they need that for that sense of motivation. So it's like, you really saying out your mouth that once Queen is done, like you okay with never having a small girl just love you for like the biggest, best thing in the world, like all of the other aspects of it, you just never want to experience that again. You don't want a son to just be like, my dad is my hero and I look up to him. He's the greatest person in the world. And you get to say, son, this is what I learned as a man. Like, do you never want to experience that? All because of the responsibility of the bill side?
Yeah, I'm good. I want to know for sure. Yeah.
But I'm just saying, like, for me, I know I'm not looking to that right now, but I can't say that. And I ain't gonna cap. When you get older, you be like, I don't know if I can start over. Go back to 0. Like, I be asking people that be like 38, right? And they got an 18-year-old, and then a 2-year-old.
Yeah.
And I'm like, how they get you? Like, who got you to start over? Like, who got you to go back to 0? And, you know, it always be that I got that second go around in their life, like that second marriage or that second relationship that was like serious. And it's like, got your ass. But it's like, for me, I'd be like, I don't know.
I know a lady who got her tubes untied again after she had like 6 kids and she was 40 plus. And she was like, no, me and my husband, we want to have a kid, just us. Yeah. And I was like,
And sometimes people want to do it right again. Like, I fucked up, next year, my year.
Right.
Next kid, my kid. Like, and I think it's so many different variables that could go into why somebody wanted, but ultimately I just love kids. Like, and what I mean by that, because like my daughter offset right now, she's smiling a little too hard, but I love them, but at the same time I love both sides of it, and I love the opportunity to coach them. Right, so it's like, whatever way do you see the fruits of your labor other than the children that you bear? You follow what I'm saying? And it's like, it ain't to say that all of them, because you know you pop out 5. One might be
for sure
some bullshit.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
Can't foresee it.
You know, like, damn, I didn't think she was gonna strip, or I didn't think he was gonna be that type of person. Like, I didn't know he was gonna go there. Like, I tried, but you know, but you like still got the other 4 where it's like, all right, I'm 80% out. Like, you know what I mean? Like,
the table. Yeah.
So one little leg ain't about to stop the show.
So I ask you this. So let's just say, of course, we always talk about like where you started as a kid with a kid. But do you think right now, if you happen,
absolutely not.
Right, let's just say if you happen to have 2 more kids, do you think your life will just be?
I'm not having 2 kids right now. It's nothing that it could do for my life. Like,
but that's still my point. Though. It's like, yeah, you love your kids, and you love the joy it brings and memories. But would your life not be?
That's why I wouldn't
a little more tedious, a little more complicated.
So I think you making a forever decision based on how you feel today. 4 years from now, you don't know how you'll feel about it. You might be in a complete different space. Queen to be what, 8? 8 at the time. You're like, you getting older. This cute shit ain't cute no more. It's annoying. I want to start over. Like, I'm ready. I'm making a bag. Like, I'm 7 figures up. I got an investment portfolio worth 7 figures. Like, I got the money. Like, what struggles are we talking about? Now, when you talk about bringing kids into a chaotic situation, it's a difference.
That's what everybody does.
But when you talk about me specifically, I mean, foreseeing 4 years from now with the trajectory, it's like, the stuff that I went through having my first 2 won't even be present. And another reason why I want one, I never had one in a relationship.
In-house, right? Yeah.
Like, where it's like, you got the best, bro. You with your fiance, your soon-to-be wife. Like, I can see you got it right the first time. You are the exception. Like, you literally have an experience that only 1% of America might have, and he's white. You're a white middle-aged man.
Or Mexican.
No, you'd be having 7.
At one time somehow.
That is
very much so. But I respect it, yeah.
But all in all, though, long story short, man, I feel like for me, I'm looking forward to that first experience of going to the ultrasounds and I want to go to Lamaze classes. I want to do like, the gender reveal. All the shit I never did. I want to do corny pajama shit that's really sickening to me, but I gotta say it's corny for the sake of people listening. I really don't think it's corny though.
The photo shoot, John.
Yeah, gotta be that. You know what I mean? I gotta be down holding the stomach, all the little nut shit. I want to do it like.
And I could totally understand from your perspective, even outside, y'all wasn't together, or whatever. But also, again, you was a kid, and it was like a tense situation on top of being a kid. Some teenager have kids. And it's kind of we cool. Like our parents get along. It's good, but y'all was at odds. So even on top of you being lost and confused, so that's even more trauma to your past attached to it. Shit like that.
Yeah. So yeah, but I want to see what I could do at this version of myself. The same way I was in my last relationship. It's like, it could have went the distance, and if it would have, it's like, but at the end of the day, I left that joint feeling like, oh, you know what, I'm capable of going the distance. I ain't cheat. I ain't do none of the common BS that most men get deemed to do or be. None of that. It was none. It was none of that. Like I literally committed, and I was committed, and I proved to myself that I could put all of my desires away. Like, nothing even crossed my mind. Like, out here you see ass and titties. Oh, ass and titties, I'm human. But outside of that, it's like, no, like I'm cool. I'm kind of content with what we on. I just want to build, know? And I want that type of experience, like through the everyday 3 a.m., 4 a.m. crying diapers. Like, I want to see how capable I am. Like, I want to see what's like, cause like I said, I had that, but it was like co-parenting. It was always like, you can go back home. You can go to your mom. Call me, you can go to your mom. So I always get that break, which is why I say, when this man that got 4 or 5 of them things in a crib, and it's with the wife, and it's a lot, dog, like, let me just address y'all. Like, literally, bro, like, if you married in a relationship, something committed, you know what I'm saying? You got a bunch of kids, not even a bunch, you got kids, and y'all live with your girl, you dealing with that, you managing it, bro. I commend you, for staying, bro. Because a lot of men don't stay. A lot of men, get up when times get difficult and they run. Even if your lady don't tell you this, bro, I commend you. I respect you. I salute you for thugging it out. Even if it's challenging, even if you don't know where the next meal gonna come from, even if, work has been unstable and your paycheck ain't as great as it, y'all can't do the fun stuff and extracurricular activities, and sometimes you don't even know where that food gonna come from, or, maybe y'all doing a little all right, but you feel like y'all could be doing a little better, but you dealing with it and you manage it, bro. I commend you. I respect you. I appreciate you. Why? Because it's not highlighted enough the amount of energy and effort that it takes to be able to just thrive in manhood, even survive in manhood, and you doing it with, that and shouldering that load, and coming from somebody that did it. I had a family at 5, even though we never got down the aisle to actually, that we operated no different, like literally blended the families and went full-fledged, and I know what that felt like. So if you in that and you can't get away from it, maybe y'all is married, maybe y'all got kids together, and it's like, it ain't no out, you find a way to sustain, you know what I mean? I commend you and I salute you. And again, I really not appreciate you, because everybody need a man in the house. Like the women need a man in the house, daughters need a man in the house, son need a man in the house. And even if you feel like you're not always loved, valued, and appreciated, just know that you always will be respected from me.
Yeah, and to me, that I think about the guy I referenced in the beginning of the conversation, because again, I'm not the type of person to look down on anybody with money. Money is that's not about your character, how you are as a person, whatever. So like, I can tell, even when his whole little spiel he's giving about his kids and his path, whatever, I can tell the love he had for his family. His 5 kids, he's like, I've been with my girl about 16 years, and I got it right, da-da-da. He's like, we went through some shit, but it's there. I'm like, I respect it. Like, I don't understand it per se, whatever, but I respect that you clearly are committed and you love your family. And that's all the ultimate matters.
Are you a family man, though? Because that matters.
What you mean?
So,
what do you mean by, what does that mean to you, family man?
So for me, literally, like, everything is about, like, family unity. Like, when I had, it was in my last relationship, and we blended our families, and it was all 5 of us. It was about family moments and, just like building together, be like enjoying those moments, creating those moments, going to the plate, like whether we going, to the Poconos or just going to Donny Park or having just a fucking Disney day at the house, and just building and creating those memories as a family, where it's like we taking those photos and being able to say, like, remember we had this, or remember y'all argued about that, or remember, and it's just like being centered around providing for that and being content with being like, yo, this is my team, and I want to build my team up to be the best team in the world. And I ain't always gonna like how my team is performing. I ain't always gonna like how my co-star is acting. But ultimately, as a team, when we go out into the world, I want to see us thrive and flourish, and I feel fulfilled in that. Like, it gives me a sense of belonging and purpose. So, do you feel like it's more that, like, you're the family man guy, or you feel like it's more of the duty, priority, obligation style?
No, I'm absolutely a family guy. And actually, to your point, you may have just connected a few thoughts. How you always talk about you don't want nobody stepping on our set and trying to run shit and have input. That's how I feel about my family.
Yeah.
Like, I actually take offense when anybody has anything to say about anything. I feel like my girl don't really have that foresight about certain. Even my mom, I love my mom to death, but even when she try to have certain input with my daughter about certain shit, I don't give a single fuck for her, bro. Sure. Like, it's like
that's a question to your leadership.
Yeah,
directly.
Fair. But if let's just say it may be an indirect question, but even if it's not about me or towards me, I don't give a fuck. Like, and I feel like it's only, that's why I even come down with the marriage. I wanted to set the tone, but yo, it's only about me and you. I don't give a fuck about nobody's input about our wedding or marriage. That's why only we going.
Yeah.
Like, I don't yeah, like
he took me and you to a whole new level.
Yeah, like, so I'm actually very intentional about our unity and bond, about us building and what we think about certain shit, whatever, about what me and my girl think about our daughter together and where she's about to be, whatever. So no, I take that seriously. And even with something like Christmas, like, again, I'm not naturally with the frills of traditional certain things that decorated, but it's like, yo, like, let's watch Home Alone together all day. Like, you know, so I definitely love that type of shit.
I just asked because you was only child. So like, I don't know if it meant to say, like, I don't know. I had a lot of siblings. So that togetherness of just like, we all we got, you know, we all we need, you know, that don't mean we block out everybody else, but just knowing that at worst case, I got my family, got my household, like, you know, and I ain't know if you experienced that because, you know, you kind of grew up just mom and dad and you, like,
because of that, though, to your point, though, to answer your question, I do have like a, for better or worse, a minimalistic view of those type of things, where it's like, and because my family went through some shit where we kind of got fractured, so it's like, I definitely, if you're not on the same path as me, I kind of don't really give a fuck about it for over. It's like, you know, I often say my family often is like my mom, my grandma, and
like your immediate.
Yeah, like, you know,
my family is very much. You see, you just was in the car,
right.
calling this cousin, calling this sister. Everybody come bring over. Like, we got a close knit.
I think that's dope.
So so it's like that shit mattered to me. Like, so because I feel like every family that I start with, the way I started my life was gonna start broken. Because I got 2 kids that I will be bringing in, and if the woman has a kid or no kid, it's still not broken, but it would have to be manufactured to fit. And I'm like, all right, cool. If that's the part, but I still want to have some type of homegrown foundation where it's like we got together and created this, and we added these extra elements that was already there, but just placed them, you know, the right way, or collectively as a unit in a village. Me and my 2, plus you and whatever you got, and then we had one. It's like now we all collectively could love this one. It's like, it really take a village, and it's like and to your point, I'm pivot real quick. I'm gonna land that thought and just pivot because but that you should take offense if people got too much input on how you run your family. That is a direct question to your leadership as a man. And if you're watching this, I want you to understand, like, you're not wrong for being offended by people questioning the way you run your household, because that's no different than if somebody is running a business and somebody going in there telling them how to run a business, and somebody running a team and somebody telling them how to coach their team, or if somebody running a household and somebody telling them what they should be. People don't have the viewpoint or the vantage point to be able to see every moving piece of why you do what you do to give you that opinion. See, this is the thing. I don't take opinion from people. I take perspective. I'm humble enough with humility enough to take perspective. How do you see it? You can tell me how you see it, but you're not going to tell me what I should and shouldn't do, because that gives somebody them thinking that their opinion should have whole weight over. So they only think if you don't take that opinion, you don't listen. Oh, you hard-headed. No, that's you thinking you know what's best for what I got going on more than what I do. And that is an insult to my ability to lead. Me taking perspective and me taking wisdom and all these different things gives me the bandwidth to be able to pull from what resonates or learn something new. But you just flat out disregard anything that I might be able to learn and just giving me up. I don't think you should do that. I don't think you should do that. I think
why is this like that?
Why just like that? You just basically saying F everything I'm working towards, and you just smarter than me. I don't really bang with that. But it's like, from the standpoint of somebody offering perspective, look, man, I've been a dad for X amount of years. This is how I've always done things. I can take that perspective. I'm like, would that work for me? Probably won't. Probably will. But it gives me that bandwidth to be able to say, all right, this is something that I can pull from, or something that I can disregard, versus somebody saying, you should do it like this. You need to be more like this. So like, you ain't gotta, you know what I mean? You could feel offended if somebody telling you how to run your house, because that's a question to your leadership. We say we don't want our women to question us. Why? Not because we want them to have questions, because we don't want them challenging us. questioning on the way I do things that's challenging my ability to get it done, whether you see it that way or not. Now, if you want to add insight to what I'm doing, yo, I like the way you did that. You know, have you ever considered this? That's cool.
Delivery is everything.
Delivery is everything. If you say, look, man, I see you've been doing it like that. Have you ever considered doing it this way? That's not an opinion. That's giving somebody an opportunity to say yeah or no. But just telling them you need to stop doing it like this and start doing it like that. Oh yeah, you got me fucked up. Get out my house. Clearly, you think you the man in the house. Mom, like, no.
On Christmas, like,
for sure. Why the tree over here? Oh my gosh, my mom. You know you watching this right now. My mom, she tried to do it subtly now. She tried to do that approach. Son, so I don't want to tell you what to do because I know you don't like that. But how you feel about? All right, I was just saying. Like,
I was just going to. I mean, I didn't mean that, but I was.
Yo, my mom is hilarious, dog.
So I don't know. So speaking of moms as well, so I don't know about you. You know, we came from an era when, you know, these days, these terms, you know, we will be abused. You know, like the comment how we were disciplined most likely in that time, you know, they call it abuse these days. But one thing that struck me one day, I was talking to my mom about just disciplining kids or whatever, and she was like, yeah, I feel fathers should never hit their daughters.
I never hit my daughters.
Right. But as my mom being as violent as she was, I was just caught off guard by it though. She like, yeah, fathers never hit their daughters. And I was like, could that teach them to be abused by men later on, whatever? And I was like, but does that mean I'm conditioned to be abused by women now? I don't really get that.
100% mean
and of course, my mom thinks she's exceptions to every rule. Well, I don't, maybe for other niggas, but not you, because I'm the better parent. All right, got it, cool. Checking out. But
the gaslighting is real. Maybe for other kids, but not you.
Yeah. Lena logic. Yeah, Lena math. But
Lena logic got to go in the t-shirt.
But at the same time, dead ass, before that moment, I never even thought about it. Mind you, that was before I even had Quinn, I believe. Maybe she was just born. I don't know. It was very early on, a couple of years ago. But I knew, even before my daughter was born, I wasn't going to beat her. I was like, we breaking that generational curse, and that's cool. Not that I feel my mom was wrong. I feel, for the most part, she was in bounds, for the most part. So I'm cool with it. But we don't need to carry that over. She good. But it wasn't necessarily tied to her being a girl, though. Because if I really felt that way about it, then I'm like, my girl got to beat her then. If I felt that strongly about it. Right. But I never thought about, oh, no, because she a girl. I could never. And because my mom beat me, so I don't really get the, you know, double standard of that necessarily. So what are your thoughts? Do you think it is a double standard? Like, can moms beat sons?
No.
Okay, cool.
No, I think exactly with your logic that you
got. So it is both sides.
Yeah, right, cool. Because it's like, it's not even just, it don't even got to be physical abuse. If a mom talked down to her son, she's conditioning her son to be okay with being talked down to by a woman and being emasculated because it starts with her. And the example that she set makes him think that it's okay, because if the person that's my mom, she had me, she talked to me like this and she loved me, then you love me, then it must be okay for you to talk to me like that too. See, where though, the reason I never tolerated disrespect from women, it was always so easy for me to set a boundary because my mom never talked to me like that. So it was foreign to me. It was like, hold the fuck up. Like, what the fuck
what is happening?
Like, what the fuck is going on? Because my mom always, son, you could do it. Son, you amazing, you great. You follow what I'm saying? Like,
this person talking to.
So when I start hearing pussy, this bitch, that whoa. But now what I will say will offset it a little bit with the fact that I grew up with sisters and they didn't give a fuck. But the fact of the matter is, it was like I could dissociate that from love. Right. That was just sibling shit. Like, you feel me? I fight my sisters as a kid. You feel me? You don't really think you were really fighting a girl or winning, losing, whatever. But when it was my mom, it's like, if she was like talking to, I've seen people that I grew up with, moms call them stupid and dumb, and you're a follower, you so stupid, you don't know what you're doing, and you're never gonna be nothing. And it does something to them psychologically. So now when they hear it, they get so, you numb yourself to it, right? You're like, I don't even care. That level of abuse becomes tolerable. So now you tolerating being emasculated, and even if you feel like it don't affect you, it's so deep embedded into you that you numb to it because you heard it growing up. For me, that never happened. So it was so foreign to me. I'm like, oh yeah, I'm not dealing with this. I'm out. I tell women off the rip, look, you're allowed to express yourself in any way, shape, form, or fashion, but it's not about, the shit you say will be used against you. And the way it's going to be used, because I will remove myself. It's like, you're not going to tell you, I set the rules from the rip, the boundary. Not even say rules, boundary. Bitch, pussy, all that. Like, you could get mad, you get frustrated, get flustered, you could talk passionately, say whatever you got to say, express yourself. But when you start coming at my character and saying certain shit, I'm out. Because that's just the end all be all. That's my boundary. But if a man had his mom cooking his character since he was a little boy, yeah, it's the same type of abuse. Whereas though, vice versa, if the dad is beating the shit out of his daughter, he's conditioning her to think it's okay for a man to hit a woman. The crazy thing is, and this might not even be a hot take, my youngest daughter right there, I was so blessed to have my oldest daughter because I never used to take her to the bathroom. And I know people like, what's your daughter? I never even thought like that, but the fact of the matter is I still never wanted to create the condition of Like, my mom never even let, like, my sister sit on men's laps and all that. So it's like certain things that it don't got to be weird going into it to be preventative. So it's like I didn't want to create certain normalities of like, oh, well, my dad washed me up. And it's like, yeah, when she was a baby, I did it. But after a certain while, no, you going to wash yourself up, your sister going to do it, because I want to condition her to understand, like, no, I don't want no man in the bathroom with you. Even if it's me, if I don't want to be the exception to it, even though I know I'm your father, I still want to condition it to be like, well, my dad don't come in the bathroom. So this got to be not normal. Like, shit like that. And it's like, I say all that to say, like, we do condition our kids to accept and tolerate, have boundaries or not have boundaries based on how we treat them or what we do. So if you a dad and you beat your kids, beat your daughter, yeah, she gonna become susceptible to abuse. Or it could be the exception where she be like, oh, I'm not never letting a man hit me because my dad beat the shit out of me when I was young. But I don't see no reason to hit him. As a man, you got to learn how to navigate and discipline with, see, because when we hear the word discipline and chastise, we automatically think of physical abuse. You can chastise somebody, it just means punish. Discipline, chastising, and discipline really should have a positive connotation and not a negative connotation. So I'm just use chastise because that's flat out punishment. If you want to chastise somebody, you don't got to do it with using physicality. You can chastise them with their words. My daughter, my witness, she'll say my dad, well, he won't beat me. But she don't play with me. Why? Because I chastise her in other ways. Or you like that iPad? Me hit that. Or you don't want to stand in the corner? Go stand over there. Or you don't want to write down, I will not X amount of times, go.
And the key is no remorse about it too.
No remorse. Give no fucks. Like, absolutely not. Like, I enjoyed, we was on our phone yesterday waiting for the movie to start. She was pissed in the backseat. You lost your iPad. It's not on me. It's not on me to let you get my other phone, my work phone, because you lost your iPad. No, don't lose your iPad. Me and your sister going to sit here and enjoy our electronics that we protected. And now you know what make her think, all right, when I get my next iPad, I'm not going to lose it. So it's ways to chastise and punish and discipline your kids and without hitting them. That don't make you a gentle parent. Like, you don't gotta, like, and then it's like the whole verbal thing is like, yelling don't mean you getting the message across to your kids. Like, I don't have to, I yell, but not in a way that's like I have to. It's like, I'm more so like, come on. My come on works more than me even yelling. Me saying, like, come on, stop playing with me. Just the boundary that's set behind that, the amount of punishment that's set behind that makes it like, you know what? I ain't about to play with this man.
And you know what I would say too? I feel like typically, or at least I'll just use myself and versus how my girl, my mama always does it. I feel like whenever I do yell, it's more so about behind an action. Like, shut the fuck up. Like, it's like, or like, yo, sit down or whatever. Where I feel my girl and my mom, the mom should just be never ending, like just belaboring points. You're not even making, the point has been made. You're not even the action. It's not even an action session. You just fucking bitching now. Like, okay, we get it. And I was like, I think
as a parent, or you just saying in general?
Both. But I remember when I got to the age of my mom where I was like, yo, like, can you please just go back to hitting me? Like this, like this yelling shit, just
nagging shit.
The beat would have been over by now.
Yeah,
like, this
no
shit.
cat. I gotta listen to this shit.
Right.
Beating my ears.
But back to the exception though. That's again, I thought it was interesting when she said it. I'm just like, so we had different experiences. So my mom, I definitely play about that verbal abuse shit. That's anything. Talking down to your kid, that's fucking anything. But my mom was definitely violent though. So it's like,
I've got whoopings before.
All right, fair.
Yeah, I ain't my mom ain't whoop me. I never said that. I said she ain't talk to me down.
Okay,
I got my ass whooped.
Gotcha. Yeah. So but okay, so let's speak to that then. So even though we both got whoopings, we also never tolerated or thought that was cool to get hit by women.
I eventually set a boundary. I don't know if you did. Like, eventually I stopped the whooping. It's like, I put an end to it. Like, and I didn't do it by grabbing the belt or it was just like, I think she might have whooped us one time and we just didn't cry. She just knew at that point she had to get a man. My stepmom came around. Fuck.
So you stopped with her, but
he ain't whoop us.
Okay.
That nigga, he disciplined us.
Okay.
He knew how to discipline us as young boys. Like my older brother, I got an older brother, he disciplined us. Make us stand in the corner, hold the paint can, do push-ups, sit in the, like he did things, like he'll pluck us. My older brother would pluck us and little shit like that. But just that presence of a man, we were just scared. So it was like, whatever he say, we're going to listen. And then eventually it formed us and shaped us to be good men.
My stepdad definitely punched the shit out of me a few times though. Like,
see, my dad, like he a little thorough. So I wasn't really, and my dad like was outwardly thorough. So it wasn't like it was like a secret. So he beat my brother. My stepdad beat my brother one time, but my brother was extremely like I was disrespectful. We wasn't the best kids. We was disrespectful. But my brother he knew how to hit the button. Like, he was good. Like, super sarcastic, super Virgo-ish. I don't even know what that means.
He was gifted.
He was gifted at what he did. You know what I mean? And he got him one time. My stepdad beat his ass. And that was the only time. But my mom gave him dominion over the house. So she said I don't really want you to hit my kids, but I don't know, that one time he got his ass beat. Like, she ain't care. It was like, he earned that.
And to your point about the parent boundaries thing, another thing we spoke about briefly one time is, I saw something online about the naked mom thing. And, women was talking about
conditioning your kids to over-sexualize.
Yeah,
you don't even understand. Like, you understand, like, we boys, we men. So we might not understand it first, but even if you making a boy think that that's okay to just see, then you wonder why he's perverted, and not in a weird way, but in a real life perversion, or really want to watch this, and you where did that stuff? Because truth be told, women don't think the rules apply to them. So for some reason, they think that all of them is the exception. They think we're all the exception. Like, oh yeah, that could affect the child, but it's not affecting my child. But it's like, yes, it is. Like,
why do you keep telling my mom, yo?
No, I'm not.
No, why you keep telling my mom?
Oh, that's loud. He was loud. That exception was loud.
An exception to everything.
Yeah, but all in all, it's like, even when it comes to in front of their daughters, like, I had issue with that. Stop wearing that, because they're going to want to be like you. And then with the son, it's like, now they looking at all your friends like that, and you wondering why they overly tongue all out their mouth drooling, because at the end of the day, they might not know exactly what's going on, but once they're able to form that, like, you shouldn't be showering with your kids. It's like, don't tell me how to parent my kid, and don't be mad when they 13 out horny and touching and wanting to do all of this shit because they've been overexposed. Like, and that's the thing. My mom never walked around like that. She did robes. You feel me? Like, that was it. Like, maybe that was the most. Like, my sister was never allowed to walk around with little shorts on in the house. She said, it's boys in this house. You cannot walk around like that. So my mom wasn't the most nurturing, right? We talk about that all the time. But when it came to, like, principles and, like, how to carry yourself and all that, she didn't play that shit. Like, she understood how to set the standard. Like, I told y'all, she never even really was affectionate with my step-pop in front of us. She didn't want to expose us to things that could potentially fast-track us. Granted, we still did a lot of the shit that she probably tried to prevent, but it wasn't because of her. It was because of other variables to our environment. So, yeah, when you see a woman walking around naked and they think it's harmless, it's not. Twerking in front of your kids, I don't judge. I don't even like to have opinions on this type of shit, but it's like, as a man, as a protector, as a leader, at the end of the day, we got to just start questioning the example we setting. Like, I'm not the guy that get on here, smoke weed, promote this, do all of that. I try to, not even try, I literally walk in a way that I would be comfortable if my daughters met a man like me. I would be comfortable if my mom dealt with a man like me, and my sisters. I would be extremely comfortable. I would like to, yeah, you man, good shit. Y'all got to ask yourself, would y'all be comfortable in that? Like, if it's like, would you be comfortable if the example you set was a reflection of the person your child had to grow up to deal with? And if you're not comfortable with that, then it just comes down to being able to self-assess and self-correct. Don't take it as an attack of somebody saying, like, yo, you shouldn't be doing that, because if we can't get better in no way, shape, form, or fashion if we can't take the accountability when it's time for somebody to point out something that we don't necessarily agree with about ourselves. Just because somebody point out something about you that you don't agree with don't mean it ain't some truth to it. And that's what helps me grow. Like, even if somebody say something that I don't agree with, I always try to see what could be true about it.
When they provide perspective.
Yeah, like, yeah, of course. Like, no, even if it's an opinion. Okay. In that regard, that's not, like, I'm going to analyze what could be true. If you say, yo, man, like, I feel like you ain't responsible, I'm going to be like, all right, I don't really agree with that, but what areas I might maybe not be responsible for him to draw that conclusion? And I'm like, yo, you know what? I don't be on time enough. Like, maybe that's why he said I'm not responsible. All right, if I care that much, let me be more on time so I can earn that validation of being responsible and cues. But regardless, I'm going to self-reflect and analyze. So when we telling y'all or highlighting things that could be detrimental to the upbringing of our children, the ones that are your children that got to be around our children, it's not an attack. I don't like when it's like they attack them. Y'all bitches need to put clothes on around the kids. It's like, no, the delivery. But if you say, look, are you okay if your daughter resemble this behavior at 9 years old, 10 years old, 11 years old? If she say, I want to be so much like my mom that I'm about to walk around like this too. If you're not going to be okay with it, don't think that that's not influencing them, because it is.
Yeah, and...
Where we at, Ricky?
Yeah, and it's when I brought that up to my mom about this whole new naked mom concept and theory woman was putting out there, and she was like, yeah, like, nah. But one thing she told me I didn't know, she said, because my mom always wore like big shirts or like type shit. And she said, my stepdad actually said, yo, like, why the fuck you wearing around your son? How about you wear something that's maybe full length or something like that? But she was like, and real time, back to like the foresight, possibly like a thing. I feel my mom still was cool, whatever. But the fact that he did have a thought about that 20 years ago, saying like, yeah, like, nah, the big shirt thing, like, nah, maybe wear some shorts or something like that with the big shirt. So yeah, I think that's an interesting.
I literally I don't walk around the house with my shirt off. We talked about it.
Right.
I wear shorts. I don't walk around in drawers. Not for no reason, but it's just certain imagery that you just don't even create or depict. Like, you know what I mean? And it's like, it's not to say everything don't got to be sexualized to just not create it. It's like, you ain't gotta, like, wearing small shorts don't gotta be a sexual thing for it to still create that image of exploitation or just over revealing, certain things that might just trigger a thought in a young boy or a young girl.
And it's like, no, it's a flaw in the logic as well, because it's something, and we get it. We get the root of the double standard, because women, they birth the child and shit like that, whatever. No, I'm saying, but it's like, so like, yeah, the naked mom, that's kind of, who cares and whatever. But it's like, everybody know if it's a dad being naked around the crib, that's just what are we even doing? So it shouldn't be that far of a reach from the naked mom being naked around, whether it's a son or a daughter.
It's literally not even a far reach. It's the same. It's literally, you shouldn't be an adult having your body parts exposed for a child to see. Flat out. Because that's the case. Forget the naked mom. What about any other naked woman? What makes it different? Fuck the using the dad, because that's weird. We could use a random woman. Like, would you want a random woman naked around? Why is it different? The parts are the same. Oh, it's my, y'all don't draw the correlation. Y'all might think, oh, it's my mom. I'm the mom, so they don't see me like that. And that's the lack of, not even foresight, but the lack of consciousness as to the reality. It's like, no, like, it's just the parts. Like, it's just you don't want them exposed to your body parts. Like, you know, it's like, that's like a young boy 14, you still walking in the bathroom while he pissing or something. Like, he don't want his mom to see his situation. It's like, what do you think happens? Like, something switches and it's like, oh, let me cover up. My mom don't, you might have seen me at 6 months. You might have seen me at 2, but you ain't seeing me at 10. Like, absolutely not. Get out the bathroom. Like, now I'm conscious that what I got going on, I don't want you to see it. So don't act like that time won't come about. Because it will. It's like, you still trying to shower with your son, he 11, and you don't think that's weird. It's like, come on, man. Like,
I birthed him, I created him.
No, like, and I know that's a bit extreme. But the fact of the matter is that I could just simply say, if your 11-year-old seen another woman naked, how would you feel? Your girlfriend walk out and her clothes off, and he see that, bitch, put something on, this, that, and the third. But it's like, dog, like, you got to set the example. He shouldn't even be exposed to that in no way, shape, form, or fashion.
One last thing before we get out of here, even if we possibly leave it as a cliffhanger, in a lot of our recent discussion, we talked about, you know, learning and evolving into better understanding like financial acumen and discipline, shit like that. And one thing we realized, one of our differences in approaches to whether it's current finances or even the past situations is you're typically more of like a projector, and I'm kind of like an assessor in real time, whatever. So I thought we could talk a little about that, but you know, how we deal with real-time adjustments to involve income or money, or even trying to, you know, look forward. So how, in regards to projecting, what does that mean to you?
I actually been like I've been using you as my accountability lately. I'll call you, but the other part would just be me bringing it back to real time, like, because I'm so much of a projector, like, it hasn't happened, and I'd be like, yeah, but this is the trajectory. So what I have to realize as a projector is the trajectory has to match the projections. Like, anything is possible, but what's the probability, right? So I can pull out my calculator right now and make up a million ways to make $1 million. But if there's no trajectory in none of the things I'm doing, then I'm just projecting for nothing. But the real time is, okay, even in the trajectory of it, I still have to be able to understand where I'm actually at right now. So like I said, I've been leaning on that. But me being a projector is giving me the motivation to know what's possible. So I think what we differ is, because you worked in multiple jobs and I never had a job, I only ever had to project. I never had a guaranteed check to say, all right, let me assess this 1,000 that's coming every 2 weeks, or this 2,000 that's coming every 2 weeks, or this 5,000 that's coming every 2 weeks, whether you're working for 10 hours, 15 hours, 20 hours an hour, $50 an hour. I never had that. So I always had to say, all right, if I get 3 clients, I can make this amount. If I get 5 clients, I can make this amount. Then I got to go out and get the clients. So my projections come from, that's the only way I get money as a business owner, is to project what I could do given certain input, right? And it's like, you don't always hit those numbers, but you project what they could be. Where it becomes toxic is when you project the spending. You follow what I'm saying? And that's where you got me at, because I was projecting to spend more money based on what I projectedly could make. And that's what I assessed and was like, all right, let me stop projected spending unless it's to invest versus projecting to make. Because you can project to make all you want, but when you start spending the money you ain't made yet, that's where the delusion kicks in.
Playing catch up.
Yeah.
So. And, you know, like I said, like, you know, I went from a place of, I've always been kind of like, you know, again, I give credit to my parents. I had both extremes. My mom, she's a spender. She's going to spend it before she got it, when she get it again, and spend it again type shit. And my dad, he's a very pragmatic person with everything, like, and, you know, he's found a way to really figure out life and got that shit on a string. Like, he got this shit together. And so I feel I found myself always trying to make sure, like, all right, cool. I understand my mom, she's a person that makes sure everything is dealt with, but to possibly scale it, you know, that isn't necessarily her strong suit, whatever. So even when I made less money, I was like, all right, cool. I understood I had certain patterns already just from my condition and environments that, like, if I don't fix these in real time, whether they projected or not, I'm always going to be playing catch. I'm always going to be in debt. I'm always going to be having shit that's not paid off fully and shit like that, whatever. So once I start making more money, I feel like I realized I had to fix those habits to finally get ahead of shit. I feel that's what most people's problems are. You never get ahead of your own habits.
That's a fact.
Your own debts, your own shit you forgot to pay off, shit like that.
Or the shit you just don't respect. Certain bills, I just don't respect it. It's not going to get me evicted. It's not going to get my car took. Fuck that bill. Like, certain shit.
Credit.
Yeah. So that's to your point.
Yeah. So, you know, I feel now it's like, even before I spend more, Like, let's get there first, reassess, and see what can we afford to invest more, so something can come back. And then, all right, cool, we got some shit in the green, spend that, whatever. You know, we definitely believe in treating ourselves.
And now I've adopted a part of that, where it's like, I make sure I handle my responsibilities before I start projectedly spending, because I want to spend it from a place of having it. Because I noticed, like, we was laughing about my gross versus my net when we was on over here, and I'm like, you look at the gross, you're like, oh, yeah, that boy made some money. You look at the net, you laugh like, oh, that nigga spent some money too. He can make some money, but that boy can spend.
He good.
Yeah. So, you know, just wanting to better myself in that regard and just be more financially responsible to be able to properly head a household. Because you can't, like you said something about you can't surpass your own habit. Whatever you just said that I felt like was dope. Like, it's like, to even want to go back to talking about these titles, you want to be the man of the house, but you don't handle yourself like a man. And it's like, I want to be steadfast in all of the things that I need to do as a man, so that when I'm the man of the house, I'm not really worried about being questioned, because the evidence is in my performance. You know what I mean? And it's like, that don't mean that I'm already wasn't doing that, because I was, but that don't mean it can't be refined.
Exactly.
Like, and that's what it's about. Like, to say that I'm working on it don't mean that it ain't already present, but that don't mean that it can't get better. And just because you are good at something don't mean you can't get better at it. And I think that people
even
settling
if it's
for being good.
1%.
Even if it's just 1%. And we'll land a plane with that, man. Something, make sure we got a bunch of sponsors, and you know, highlighting the one in the back for sure. Making sure y'all get with them. And yeah, man, just get 1% better, man. Remember, as y'all let people know what we do,
we get better.
we grow.
We grow.
Let people know we grow, man. Don't gatekeep this information. Make sure y'all share this out with as many people as possible. Make sure y'all shop with her fantasy box. That's what I was referencing when I said the sponsor in the back. Make sure y'all shop with her fantasy box. I'm rocking the Simply 100 sweatpants. I got on my Eagle jacket with my Janice and Jean t-shirt. So, you know, like I said, we got a ton of sponsors, you know what I mean? And it's a sponsored and brought to you by First Step Home Care to see. And Marquis
Consulting Solutions, absolutely.
Yeah, so we gotta make
you need some, any business, any person needs some help with your HR relations, you know?
Yeah, but tap in. And then, you know, if you got any home care needs, or if you're looking for a gig and you love the serving people, we got the place for you. So with that being said, as y'all let people know we grow, do not gatekeep this information. Make sure y'all share it out. Make sure y'all like, comment, and subscribe. Make sure y'all do something every day to get 1% better. As we continue to do, we work on getting 1% better. We share these stories with y'all, this insight about our real life and the things that we've really experienced or been privy to, or just perspective and insight within itself, because we want y'all to know that we're on this journey with y'all to get 1% better. Even if we might have started ahead of y'all and we might be where we at, we are leaving a trail for y'all to follow so that y'all can get here. Just that simple. So don't stop the trail with you. Pass it along so more people could go down this journey and continue to grow with us. And, you know, we want to continue to make the world a better place, one conversation at a time. With that being said, make sure y'all like, comment, subscribe on YouTube. Make sure y'all download us on the on Apple Podcast, the Wolf Has Spoken Podcast, all streaming platforms. Make sure y'all watch us on the Wolf Network on YouTube, the Wolf Has Spoken Podcast. Make sure y'all follow us on Instagram at wolfnetwork.wsc. Make sure y'all follow me at wolfwsc. And Q, where can they find you?
Right on Q Live, as in right on Q, the right side live, right on Q Live.
Yeah, so, and make sure y'all get with Ricky B. Philly, man. You already know, man. Contact me first. I'm his manager. But
still a businessman.
Still a businessman. But no, man, big shout out to us, man, being able to bring this together. And a big shout out to y'all for being able to continue to tap in and keep us motivated, keep us inspired, make it all worthwhile. And until next time, as always, man, the Wolf Has Spoken. I'll see y'all soon.
1%ers.